These photographs tell a story of America before highways and supermarkets, before tractors replaced horses, before electricity reached every corner of rural America. From the 1920s through the 1940s, government photographers traveled the back roads of this nation, capturing something extraordinary, the daily lives of ordinary farm families. What they documented was more than just agriculture. It was the backbone of America. In 1937, in Caledonia County, Vermont, photographer Arthur Rothstein captured the ancient ritual of threshing, separating grain from chaff by hand, the way it had been done for centuries. This was farming before the modern age. Every acre of land demanded sweat. Every harvest required an entire family's strength.
Look at this image from 1938, a farmer in Roanoke, North Carolina, standing with cottonseed, fence posts, and wire. These weren't just materials, they were survival. Building fences meant protecting livestock. Planting cotton meant income for the year, if the weather cooperated.
In Box Elder County, Utah, in 1940, farmers banded together through the Farm Security Administration Cooperative, working a hay chopper. Notice the blower, the manual labor. This was teamwork born of necessity. Men worked from sunrise to sunset, in fields, in barns, repairing equipment with their own hands because there was no one else to call. And the children? They worked too. This boy from Guilford County, North Carolina, photographed in 1938. Look at his eyes. He's seen more responsibility by age 12 than many adults knew in a lifetime. But farms weren't just about labor. They were about family. Russell Lee captured this moment in 1939, a farm family eating dinner together. Simple food, simple table, but notice their faces. There's dignity here, pride.
This wasn't just a meal. It was the center of their day, the moment when a family became whole again after hours of separate tasks. The women, they carried an invisible weight. Like Mrs. Harold Sontag of Maple Park, Illinois, photographed in 1942. The caption reads, "Like many another U.S. farmer's wife, she takes an active part in the management of her farm, but at the end of a long and active day, she still finds time to entertain her tow-headed youngsters with tales of farm life." Management, childcare, storytelling, all in one day. In Vernon County, Wisconsin, 1942, Mrs. Sagstad is about to bake a pie in her electric oven, a luxury, a sign of progress reaching rural America, one farm at a time. And the children, they were part of everything. This girl from 1941 standing next to a barn with her chicken, probably holding eggs in her folded apron. By age 10, she knew how to contribute, how to be essential. Life on a farm had its own rhythm, its own small joys. Here, a group of farm women in the early 1930s, holding plates of cake and ice cream, spooning homemade ice cream out of hand-cranked freezers. These gatherings weren't frivolous, they were sanity, community, a brief respite from endless work. A boy in a tire swing holds a cow on a tether, somewhere between 1925 and 1930. Work and play blurred together. Childhood on a farm meant learning that everything, even a moment of fun, had responsibility attached to it. By the fireplace, a man and woman sit in rockers, quiet, exhausted, content. This is what evenings looked like. No television, no distractions, just two people who'd survived another day together. Even medical care was different. In 1942, John Voschen photographed a country doctor visiting a farm family. The doctor came to them because they couldn't leave. The animals needed feeding. The land needed tending.
And then everything changed. The 1930s brought catastrophe, drought, dust storms, economic collapse. The Dust Bowl transformed the Great Plains into a wasteland. Crops withered, soil turned to powder and blew away in choking clouds. Families who'd worked the same land for generations had to make an impossible choice: stay and starve or leave everything behind. Dorothea Lange documented what came next in 1939. Migrant pickers harvesting beans, farm people who'd come all the way from South Dakota searching for work, for survival. Look at these children. Children of migrant agricultural workers in California, photographed throughout the late 1930s and early 1940s. They lived in camps, in trailers, moving from harvest to harvest.
Russell Lee captured this image in 1939, a daughter of a white migrant reaching for a stick of wood in Sebastian, Texas. She's not playing. She's gathering fuel to cook with, to stay warm. Children sitting on mattresses just unloaded from a trailer in Harlingen, Texas. Another child ironing in a migrant camp. The poverty is undeniable, but so is the resilience. These families didn't give up. They adapted, they moved, they survived. Slowly, things began to change. Electricity reached rural communities. Electric fences, like the one being discussed in Westby, Wisconsin in 1942, replaced barbed wire and constant vigilance. Young farmers joined organizations like the Future Farmers of America, learning new techniques, examining livestock with scientific understanding rather than just tradition. The farms didn't disappear. They evolved.
These photographs, preserved by the Library of Congress, captured by photographers like Russell Lee, Dorothea Lange, Arthur Rothstein, and Gordon Parks, they're more than historical documents. They're memory. They remind us that before America became a nation of cities and suburbs, it was built by people who understood the land, who respected the seasons, who knew that a family working together could survive anything. This was American farm life. Hard, beautiful, unforgettable.